While some Germans count their losses, others, like the anti-immigrant AfD, are consolidating their gains. The German Democratic Union secured about 33%, which is below 2013's 42%, whilst the Alternative for Germany, AfD, secured about 88 seats in the German parliament. Joe News has been following the elections closely, courtesy our partners, the DW in Germany. We've been speaking with German Ambassador Christoph Resloff, who has described the AfD's presence in the German Bundestag as bad news. Germany is a major development and trade partner for Ghana, and even though the ambassador admits that setting up a coalition government as practiced in Germany may take a while, Ghanaians, he says, should rest assured that the Germans' policy towards Ghana will remain intact. If there should be changes, he asks, those will be very insignificant. I'll bring you that interview shortly. Let's cross over to Germany and speak with Latif Idrisu, who has been covering the elections in Germany. Hello, Latif.
Hello, Gifty.
I spoke to you earlier and you said nothing has changed. I don't know if anything has changed at the moment. Tell us a bit more of what's happened post the elections.
Yeah, what has changed briefly, Gifty, is the fact that you just mentioned it in the intro there, that the EU Commission President Juncker just said in an interview with Deutsche Welle Television and other media houses here in Germany that he is worried about the AFP's representation at the Bundestag. We know that with the 12% they've secured in the general elections, they're going to have representation over 80 seats in the Bundestag. And considering the extreme views they have on immigrants and Muslim and, you know, the lower in the German community, it is a concern for the German population and the European Union's very existence, considering the fact that Europe is the place many migrants from Africa and lower income economies come to visit in order to make life better for themselves. Now, if you have the AFP coming in with their strong stance on, such bodies, then it's a source of concern for the population here in Germany.
Latif, we'll come to you. Quite unfortunate that we couldn't raise you earlier. We'll come to you in our subsequent bulletins. At the moment, we have to go to the German embassy here in Ghana, where I've been speaking with the ambassador. Let me start with what happened in Germany. I assume you are excited?
Yeah, it was quite an interesting election evening, I would say. We have seen some surprises, of course, not totally unexpected. I wouldn't go so far to say it's history, what we've seen in Germany. But of course, the two major parties have suffered remarkable losses. The ruling CDU-CSU close to 9%, and other member of the Grand Coalition, the SPD, the Social Democrats, they lost almost 5%. So we will most probably have a new government in Germany led by Chancellor Angela Merkel. But what will be new is that for the first time in the history of Germany, we will have a three-party coalition. That will take some time to negotiate the coalition treaty. So everybody in Germany now is expecting a time of maybe 4, 5, even 6 weeks until we have a new government. That will not be easy. And of course, for the first time, and that's probably what you're referring to with history, for the first time, we have a right-wing populist party in the German parliament, which is bad news, to be very frank about that, but it didn't come completely unexpected. But in the end, I would say this is the essence of democratic elections, that you don't know before the votes are counted who.
So speaking of not knowing, you did say that it wasn't so unexpected. And every Wednesday on my show, which is called The Pulse, we cross over to DW and we have a bit of analysis on the German campaigns. So the correspondent over there tells us week after week that it was very likely the AfD was going to go into parliament. It was very likely the polls, even though at the beginning was not very favorable for Angela Merkel, was beginning to now turn around and was favoring her. Let's look at the kind of victory for Angela Merkel. Some have called it a humiliating victory, that you can win, but then you spoke about how much they have lost. Does it in any way indicates that people are really not happy exactly about her, policies on migration, because that has been indeed a very big issue. And when we mention that issue, Africa is connected.
I would say the Chancellor with her party, CDU-CSU, secured a clear victory. She got almost 33%. So,
which is below the 41%
which
that he
is way below the
in
41%, and which is actually also the worst result the CDU-CSU has ever seen in German history. But it is still 13% stronger than the biggest opposition party, the Social Democrats. So it's a clear victory. I wouldn't say it's a humiliating victory. It's certainly a considerable loss. But it's a clear victory, and she has a clear mandate to form the new government and to be the next chancellor in Germany. With regard to the AfD, Alternative for Germany, most people forget that already at the last elections in 2013, the AfD had more than 4%.
Okay.
As we have the 5% threshold in the German parliament, they didn't make it into parliament, but they were very close already. The reasons why the AfD was so strong has certainly something to do with a kind of vague feeling of some people in Germany that especially migration is somehow making Germany a little bit more insecure. There are voices saying we have taken in too many refugees in 2015 when the German Chancellor made this very, from my perspective, very great humanitarian gesture to let in 1 million refugees who were stranded in Hungary and on the Balkans. But there are many people who say in Germany, that is too much, we cannot handle that. From my point of view, that is wrong. We are the wealthiest country in Europe. We are one of the wealthiest countries in the world. We have 82 million people in Germany. We have no bigger challenge with unemployment, so I'm sure that Germany can handle this. But it was a big issue in the election campaign, and I think all parties right now know that you have to take the concerns of these people who voted for AfD serious. You cannot just say, why did you vote for the wrong party? You have to take them serious. But I wouldn't say it's historic or it's somehow a shift in German politics, because in the end they have 13%.
But that's what the argument that a lot of analysts are putting forward. They're saying that getting 88 seats in parliament, that's quite significant. And for a party like the AfD, that's very nationalistic. Looking at the history of Germany in terms of, Nazism, etc., that this was quite significant, which is why they think that it is historical. So people are anxious to find out how their presence in the parliament, for example, is going to impact migration, especially when it's connected to Africa. And we have Ghanaians in Germany as well.
We will not see a change in German politics. We will certainly not see a change in German politics with regard to migration and immigration, especially not because of the fact that the AfD is in parliament. They are opposition. There is no way they will ever be part of a German government. And they're not even the strongest opposition party. They are one of 3 opposition parties and not the biggest one. So I expect some kind of populist propaganda in the German parliament, which is a bad thing, because until now Germany has been